Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I am that pretty strong BMF, and I'm wearing a suit. What's up with that? Well, today we're going to be discussing spontaneous exercises, meaning these are exercises that you can do theoretically anytime, any place. You're standing at the microwave, waiting for your hot dog to get done. You could do one of these. You're standing in line at the grocery store, at the elevator. You could do one of these. Might be awkward. Who cares? You're trying to get ripped. You got spare time at work, you got some downtime. You could be doing one of these, so long as your boss isn't looking from the other side of the sword aisle. Little disclaimer here, I'm not going to be demonstrating each of these exercises in much detail. This is supposed to be just sort of a whirlwind tour, if you will. Otherwise, that would make for a rather long video, and I need more content, so I'm not just going to sabotage myself by throwing all this information at you at once. Get real. Alrighty, so we're going to be starting these exercises from the ground up, starting with calf raises. This is an often neglected exercise. In fact, even though I'm trying to focus my legs these days, I often don't do many calf raises as I'm doing that. I prefer to do them, throughout the week, just spontaneously, as I'm showing you now and as I'm advocating for at the moment. So calf raises are very simple. It's just going up and then down. This is all you have to do. Up and down. Very simple. You could do like a double, so you're pumping and then doing it again. You could do a pump and then go back on your heels. As with other certain exercises that you could do spontaneously, if you don't have a good sense of balance, you may want to grab a hold of something, whether it's a wall or a table or something, especially as you start getting fatigued. You may feel that your balance starts to waver. So just be mindful of that as you're doing this exercise as well as any of the forthcoming exercises hereafter. All right, and for our second exercise, we're going to do hamstring curls. Very simple, kind of like a dumbbell curl for your arm. It's the same motion. Let me take my slipper off here, make it easier for myself. Except you're doing it with your leg. So try to stand up nice and straight. I do strongly recommend bracing yourself with at least one hand on something as you do this, because you will have to stand on one leg. And you simply lift the leg. Try to keep the leg that you're working the thigh that is perpendicular with the floor, so the knee is kind of pointing downward rather than forward. Keep it perpendicular with the floor and then raise your foot and kind of try to touch your butt with it, like you're trying to kick yourself in the butt. That's a hamstring curl. The first time you do one of these, it may surprise you. Your leg might even cramp up a little bit, so be careful. Make sure you're hydrated when you're doing these. If you got weak hamstrings, it might feel a little strange when you first start getting into them, because that's not a very natural motion most of the time for people to do. Curls with your arms, that's one thing. Curls with your legs, not so much. Exercise number 3, we got body weight squats. You'll notice these are all calisthenic exercises. They're all body weight, equipment-free exercises. That's why you can do them spontaneously. So here we go, body weight squat. You pick a foot position that's comfortable for you. You could go wide, you could go narrow, but starting off, just pick something that's comfortable for you. You could even kind of waddle like this and whatever, or you could jump up in the air. Either way, wherever your feet land, use that as like your starting position. That's what I would recommend. And then you could do toes forward, toes out a bit. It doesn't matter that much. You're just trying to get a little stimulation in your quads and your glutes. And then you're going to simply go down, and you could come up again, or you could go down there and stay. You could make it an isometric hold. And then stay there as long as you can and slowly come up again. It may be ironic to hear that this is one of the ways I prefer to train my legs. Even though squats are probably my most hated exercise, I do like to spontaneously perform body weight squats. I go down and I just hold it as long as I can and slowly come up, and that will just destroy your quadriceps, but it will make life a lot easier for when you have to get down and grab something. That's a very, very functional exercise. All right, cool. We're back to a preferable angle now that we're working finally above the waist. So now we're going to do the vacuum pose or hollow body pose or whatever you want to call it. I've demonstrated this before in another video, but in case you haven't seen it, I'm going to show it again here. This is basically just sucking in your gut. Right, so obviously you're not going to, well, I can't speak for you, right? But I would assume you're not going to unbutton your shirt or start undressing yourself in public if you need to do these, or at any point if you're going to do these, because you don't need to. I got to demonstrate it, okay? All you're doing is sucking in your gut, basically. You want to treat it as if like someone's trying to poke you right in the belly button. So say like, this is how I am relaxed, right? Trying to be relaxed. I just tense kind of naturally. And you simply want to suck in your gut like this. See that? Ooh, oh, that's good. Okay, so if you suck that in like that, what does that do? That works a muscle called the transverse abdominis. And it's going to greatly help you with your back support, first off. But from an aesthetic standpoint, if you do this consistently, you could shrink your waist by as much as an inch. So if you're trying to slim down your waist, I recommend doing those vacuum poses, working that transverse abdominis. You could hold them for 10 seconds at a time, 30 seconds at a time, a minute, or as long as you possibly can. Do them once, do them twice, do them over and over again, whatever. There's no prescription for this. It's part of what makes them spontaneous. So our fifth and final exercise is one which some may consider not to be an exercise at all, but it is. You are stimulating your muscles. You are exercising in some sense. What is it? It is flexing. Yes, flexing is an exercise. So which means you could do it with any part of your body that has muscles that you can move, you can contract. If you can work the muscle, then you can flex it in some way. You can flex your calves, you can flex your quadriceps, flex your abs, you can flex your biceps. You could, okay, admittedly that is a bit tight. You know, you don't want to tear your clothes doing it, but you know, especially if you're swole, you start flexing, you know, flexing your lats and your biceps and shoulders and stuff, you might burst out of your suit. I'm just saying, if you go Hulk mode, okay, it's okay to bust through your shirt and through your sports coat, suit coat, whatever you want to call it. That's fine. If you're bursting through your pants are too tight. Okay, look. See this? He's got no shirt on. Still got his pants on. Be like the Hulk. Wear pants that fit, dang it. So that's all of them. You got calf raises, you got hamstring curls, body weight squats, the hollow body pose, or the vacuum pose as I prefer to call it, and just flexing in general. And you can do that really discreetly too. If you could flex your forearms, you could flex your quadriceps while you're just standing in line at the grocery store. Who's gonna know? Especially if you're wearing pants. Who's gonna know you're flexing your quads? Alright, so I hope that you found this video somewhat helpful and even novel, considering I am the only one on the internet talking about this. I've never heard anyone else discuss the concept of spontaneous exercises before, which is why you need to subscribe to my channel. Alright? Alright. See you in the next video. Peace out.